Hi, it's Lenneke here from Len's Crafty Life, and I wanted to show you what I made for Angie from Itty Bitty Crafts. Now, Angie's having a challenge at the moment, and she's asking you to make some itty bitty things for her. She herself is very much into making tiny houses. I think they are clay houses, and she gets orders in as well to make them for specific people and specific occasions, and they're really cute, so tiny. So please do check her out and her itty bitty houses, and I'll pop a link to her channel and to her challenge below this video. So please check her out and subscribe to her if you haven't already. She's a lovely lady, makes great things. So what did I make for her? Well, first of all, I made these very small. I altered these. What are they called? That's the question. Cloth bags, right? Are these cloth bags? I think these are cloth bags. So they're very small, just a little bit larger than my nail. So I took some different colors. This is a pink one, obviously. So I put a small pink butterfly on there, and I've got several layers of material. There's some here at the back. You can see there's some lace. Then I cut out this is a lace. Then I cut out a flower of some blue fabric with some flowers on there. And then there is this, it's kind of like a woolly material. Really cute, I think. So that's on there, and then the butterfly. So that's the first. Then I made this one. This is a wooden clothes bag, and I put a wooden embellishment on there. It's a tiny little bird's house, and again there's several layers. So there's again some lace here, and then some pink tulle, and then the little bird's house, and I put some glitter nail polish over the top that I had from my daughter. She's not using it anymore, so I thought I can use that. So I think that looks really nice, and I put a few little dangles on the bottom. So that's the second one. And then the last clothes bag that I made is a white one, and there's several layers. There's some shiny silver on there, which you can hardly see. Am I in focus? Well, yeah, you see it a little bit. Then there's again some lace. Use just some offcuts for this, and again that woolly kind of fabric that I have. And then this little flower I did not crochet, unfortunately. I can't crochet yet. I hope to learn that one day, but this is made by Karina Benson and from Shabby Antique and Beauty from Denmark. So it's a very tiny little pink flower that she made, and she also put the pearl in there. So I added these pearl almost like stamens all the way around. So I think that's very cute. So Angie can use this on all sorts of projects. Then I made this one, and this is an altered matchstick box. That's what it is. Sorry, I'm sometimes lost for words. So I put some pretty paper all the way around it, some vintage paper, and I used this tiny little image, which is actually, oh sorry, hit my camera, which is actually from a calendar that I had. Now it was like a birthday calendar, and on the back of calendars they usually have all the pictures of all the months in a small format. So this actually came from the back of my calendar, so that's why it's such a very small image. So I stuck it on the pretty paper. Then I just went through my snippet box, and I found all these offcuts. There's like a little leaf, two tiny little white flowers here. This trim was an offcut with just one dangle on there. This is a tiny little flower, and this as well. I got those from Jeanette from Scrappy Happy Exo Crafts from Australia. And then I had this tiny little dangle, and again this fluffy stuff that I put on the top. Now I did not distress this matchbox because it's an original very old matchstick box that I actually inherited. So kind of strange thing to inherit, but it's from basically it was from my father-in-law. So we just had to sort out this stuff years ago when he passed away, and he got loads and loads of matchsticks still in there. So I just used them up. Might chuck them out if you can use them. And then I thought, well, I can alter these boxes, so I kept the boxes as well. So I made a hole in the kind of like the tray or the drawer, as you want to call it, and put in this pretty ribbon. You kind of, Angie, when you take this apart, please don't pull it because it's a very tight fit. Just push it here, and then I've got something in here, of course. And it's a tiny little house, yay! Now, it's not a clay one, Angie. I won't try making them as nice as you do. But I got, this is like, it comes out. You can take it out. And again, I could put some paper in here and 2 little flowers that just looks nice when you see it in the box. This is a tiny little house as well. But this was a white die cut that I received from somebody when I ordered something on the Dutch eBay, some crafty stuff. This lady just put some of these die cuts from these little houses in there. So I put it together myself. The little windows were in there. And I thought, well, that's really nice. I can put something in this little house. So what I put in there, I had some lavender, and I made a doorknob here with a tiny little black seed bead. You can actually open the door, and there's a little bag that I made from tulle, and I filled it with lavender. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if it will still smell like lavender when you get it. Maybe when you keep it very, very up close to your nose that you can smell, but there is actual lavender in there. And I just distressed this with distress ink. So it's not tea dyed, it's just with ink that I used. And this is some red ink. And I had these like leaves, like a leaf trim that I put on the sides. And then I had these little flowers, the blue ones, I got from Jeanette from Scrapping Happy Exo Crafts as well. So thanks to Jeanette for those very pretty little flowers. So just for Angie, when you put it in, you can either, you know, hang both, you know, stick this back into the box and hang both the box and the house. But if you want to keep the house in the box, just be careful. This is a proper wooden box, so you can tell it's quite old because they don't make them from wood anymore. So this is a wooden box, so it doesn't really give when you put it in. So you just have to be careful because the seed bead from the door sticks out a bit. So with your nail you have to kind of pull up the outside, and then you can just stick it back in. And there you go. The house is back in its box. So, and then the last thing that I made for Angie is this. It's a very small and itty bitty fabric book. This is actually the first ever fabric book that I've made. I received one as a prize from Jeannie Dreamer, which is absolutely gorgeous, but it's about 10 times the size of this. So Jeannie, respect to you. There's so much work going into that. So there was already a lot of work going into this. So can't imagine how many hours you spent on a beautiful big one. Anyway, I've got a video over that as well. You can check it. This again are the other pictures from the same calendar as this picture was. So the other pictures are actually in here. So I made this fabric book. It's quite thick. Just layered some linen. It's sewn in the middle here, and the spine is sewn together. Then I put all these, there's some pretty lace here and a little pearl, and there's actually some soft pink lace below this bit. And again I went through my snippet box, and there was just this piece I had left over from another project, and it just fitted perfectly on the back. Then there's again this same dangle trim that I used on the matchbox. I got here this flower I got from Pearl and Buttons from Siobhan. Then this little flower I got from Colette. She's from Country Creations. There's more of these flowers all throughout the booklet. They're really lovely, and I put a pearl on it myself. Then I got this beautiful seam binding. I got that from Julie Derry. for a challenge that I had. It's actually the first ever time that I use any seam binding, so I just have to get into the swing of using them. I think it looks absolutely lovely and very shabby. So we open it and then we find the other pictures from that same calendar. There you go. So I tried to kind of get the pictures together that looked nicest together. Again, this is a little flower from Colette, and there's different kinds of laces and trims. This beautiful pink trim is also from Colette from Country Creations. And I put on a little butterfly with some pearls and these tiny little flowers. They're really, really tiny, even smaller than my little fingernail. So these are the first 2 pages. Then these are the next 2 pages, lots of different laces. Again, some little flowers here from Jeanette from Scrapping Happy Exo Crafts. And I just added this flower. I had that in my stash just to pick up on the red, like she has like a red bathing suit, and here's a red little hat. So there you go, all sorts of different trims. These are all different trims that I used. All sorts of snippets. This is like a pink linen that was already fraying from, that was like a leftover piece from some embroidery that I did for my sister. These are 2 other pages. Little boy at the beach. Put some extra bling here. Again, the flower from Colette and the little flowers from Jeanette. Lots of different trims. Here's some soft pink lace. Then these 2 again with some red together. Again, a flower from Colette. I used all the pink flowers that I got from her. I got them in lilac as well, but all the pink ones are on this booklet. I just thought they went on here really well. So here, a piece of lace and some other of those tiny, tiny little flowers there. It's just a trim that I had myself. This trim is again from Colette. And again, the flowers from Jeanette. And this is some lace that I just put it on like, well, I pleated it here. I just glued it on in a pleated way. And then put some flatback pearls over the top. And then there's some of this little trim. There's a tiny little piece here as well with a little flower you can just see. And then I ran out of these little pictures. So in all there are 11 pictures, this one and this one together, but there was one that's always larger, so I didn't use that one. So I ran out of pictures, and then I thought, okay, let's make a pocket page. So this is a tiny little pocket page, again with the trim from Colette, and I put on the tiny little butterfly, and I just put some lace, just a little bit of lace. I wanted to put in more, but it became way too bulky, so I could only put in a little bit in this pocket, which is made by, it's actually a crocheted like little, it was from a trim. Let me just put that back. So it was already half, so I did not cut the doily in half, it was already half, and I just thought it would make a perfect pocket in this little fabric book. So there you go. So these are my makes for Angie. Angie, hope you like them. And I just love this challenge of yours. I think it's absolutely great. All these tiny, tiny bits. She gets the most stunning entries. So please check out her channel and challenge and all the entries that she's getting. It's really fun to see what everybody's making in a very, very small size. So thanks for this great challenge, Angie. Hope you like it all. And thanks everybody else for watching. And hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.